Now, we don't talk much about third party on the podcast, but once in a while, a product comes around that really catches my attention, that does something unique that I don't feel will ever really exist within the official Transformers, Hasbro, Takara, or even that of a licensee kind of world with the brand. And that's when I like to talk about third party, when it's something creative, something unique. And we have that here from a person that I've mentioned many times on the podcast, and I've talked about their work on some of the streams in the past on Saturday nights, but it's that of Jizai Toys. Jizai Toys has been around, man, almost longer than the third-party scene for Transformers. Like, they've been around forever. And it's a talented group of individuals that are really good at engineering unique kind of transforming designs. Not necessarily Transformers, but just stuff that turns from one thing to another. They'll have like a frog that turns into a cool fembot. They have all kinds of crazy stuff that they've just been doing forever. They are masters of it. And over the years, their designs have really been one-shot kind of things. They show CG mock-ups, they show 3D printed stuff, showing what could potentially exist, but a lot of their stuff never really was turned into mass-produced third-party stuff. Ultimately, in the end, some of their designs were pretty much licensed out to other third-party companies, sometimes blatantly stolen in a lot of ways. I could name a few at least, like you have X-Transbots, they did the Power Glide, Super Alloy did their Masterpiece Wheelie, New Age did their Legends Ironhide, all of the Fans Project Headmasters, that was all Jizai Toys' designs, and even some of those engineering cues found their way into that of the Hasbro/Takara Universe 1.0, like the very first version of Cyclonus. So their talents go very far, and this is something I talked about again in one of the past streams, but this is an update on their Jizai Toys Convoy Cassette, which is using the limitations of the standard size of Generation 1 cassette bots that fit in the chest of G1 Soundwave and G1 Blaster, and using that thin limitation and creating iconic full-size Transformer characters. So he was working on the tooling of a Optimus Prime cassette, Convoy cassette, that amazingly transforms from cassette mode to a makeshift truck mode to a really good-looking robot mode. And it even comes with some accessories on the side. You could have his Energon axe or his Ion blaster, and it's very articulated, and it fits inside the chests of G1 Blaster and G1 Soundwave, so that's a really nice touch. Looks great in color, too. The colors match when you do the transformation. And he even showed previews that he's working on a Megatron that is going to turn into a cassette, robot mode, and gun. So hopefully these get picked up by some third-party company, or there'll be some kind of 3D printing guide, because these are fairly simple, so I'm pretty sure monocolored 3D printing and assembly could be potentially done with these. But either way, these look fantastic, and I just wanted to really just kind of bring attention to these and point these out to people, because they look really good. They look really, really good. And I mean, this is the kind of stuff that I really dig, when you take a concept from the Transformers world and you kind of like have fun with it. I know, like, a long time ago, in the early days of third party, there was a company, I think it was called Iron Factory, and they were playing with this idea of, headmasters that traditionally work with headmaster bodies, the traditional Generation 1 headmaster bodies, and they transformed into G1 Optimus Prime, Soundwave, Megatron, and then of course they did repaints of those, of Sound Blaster and Nemesis Prime or Scourge or Black Convoy, whatever you want to call it. And that idea and concept, years after that, would kind of be repurposed and used within the Titan Returns line, and we would have where everyone's a headmaster. So, it's kind of the same thing here. It's like, well, what if everyone was cassette bots? What if everyone was a tape cassette, and there could be some kind of gimmick that could work with that? Who knows? Maybe one day Hasbro will visit the limitations of that kind of stuff and have fun with it. But as it stands right now, this is a third-party idea from the amazing Jizai Toys people, and hopefully we could see more of that in the future. The second these could go up for sale, I'm pretty tempted to pick these up. Again, I'm not a big third-party guy, but once in a while, once in a while there's something that'll come around and just catch your eye and it makes you go, huh, that's really clever. And I don't think Hasbro would ever do something like that. So, you know, again, when I turn my head and look at my third-party collection, it really just consists of either weird stuff or stuff that I had some kind of hand in working on, and that's really about it. And maybe some historical stuff like, you know, Fans Project, City Commander. But these are pretty cool. Again, there's no information right now in terms of release date, price, or anything. It's just them showing off the process and them creating these. And then at some point, somebody's going to pick these up. Some company will pick up a license to do these and mass produce these. And then we could all enjoy having some new members for the cassette teams for both your Soundwave and Blaster. So let me know what you think about these. Pretty cool. I'm trying to think, like, who would you want next? I mean, are we going to have a tape cassette Soundwave that'll fit inside your Soundwave, like a double Soundwave? That one I almost feel would be pretty easy to do within the limitations of the tape cassette shaping, because Soundwave already is pretty much a box that's kind of flat in transformation, so I'm pretty sure something could be worked out fairly easy. If anything, it's almost going to look the same as the tape cassette in a lot of ways. Same thing if they did a blaster. You know, if they did a blaster, do you want a blaster inside your blaster so you could be blasting? You know? Either way, let me know what you think. This is wacky stuff, and hope I'll see everyone tomorrow for the live stream Saturday night for the Transformers Slag podcast.